In case you didn't notice, there is a virus going around that has caused a global pandemic. I am a full-time musician who plays all sorts of live shows for a living. I usually play 3 to 4 concerts a week. However, all my gigs have been canceled indefinitely because of the coronavirus, so I'm performing from my apartment in an attempt to keep my music train moving through the world. Stop in and listen, say hello from a distance, and throw some money in my tip jar on your way out. Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Fast Heart Mart podcast. I am your host, Fast Heart Mart. If you want to know why I'm called Fast Heart Mart, just look it up. On this episode 9, we'll be watching an old documentary that was made about me back in 2005. But first, I'd like to mention that this podcast is brought to you by Maria Dawes in Alabama for becoming a patron last week. Also Norma in San Diego for tipping for the jokes that I was telling. Tom Lev in San Francisco, she tipped me and encouraged me to keep going. She's also a songwriter up there in San Francisco. She's great. Lisa Getz in San Diego tipped me for Buskers Fund. She's also a patron. We're going to remind you guys again, if you want to support this podcast through my Patreon, that would be great. If I get about 300 or 400 patrons donating every month, this will be really sustainable. I went busking for the first time last week. I went down by the water, and that went well for about an hour, and then a cop came up on a boat behind me. It's so weird to be busted by a cop on a boat, but he came up from behind me on a boat and told me that I wasn't allowed to play music down there because he didn't want anybody stopping to listen, which makes sense. He was very friendly about it, but nonetheless, I don't feel comfortable going back there to do any busking. I did find a couple places where people are standing in line at grocery stores, and my friend, the typewriter troubadour, who I'm going to be having on here in a few episodes, he gave me a couple tips of some grocery stores that are going well. I don't know, man. It's all up in the air. I'm grateful for the little bit of busking work that I have found so far. I'll tell you what, though, I was riding my bike home after busking on the ocean last week when the cop busted me, and there's some people and about 10 monster trucks that were going by, and it was just a disaster zone. It was super scary. These people seemed like they were just becoming totally unhinged, and they were like kind of harassing me on my bike, and that was like a weird Mad Max kind of feeling. So it's just been another week of like ups and downs. Definitely been some really good moments, especially with the busking. People were really appreciative of me going out there and playing music to them on the streets. Anyway, this week I'm just going to show I'm going to show an old documentary that my friend Rob Nakai, he made back in Albuquerque back in 2005 or 6. I can't remember right now. But it's kind of been re-released to YouTube now, so I thought I'd mention it on the podcast. And I actually have my parents in town. I think I'm going to interview them for the next episode of this podcast. So they're in town, and I got to spend some time with them. So I don't have much time to do a full podcast this week, with music and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to show this documentary this week, and I hope you enjoy that. I have to admit, I am a little bit out of it too. I just had so much going on this week. I'm hoping things calm down, but with all the gardening, and I'm trying to do a little bit of video editing work for people, and teaching banjo lessons and this podcast, and there's just a lot going on, and sometimes I feel pretty overwhelmed. And I'm only telling you this because maybe it's going to make some of you feel better about where you're at with all this too, because we're not alone in this. We're all going through a lot of struggles right now and trying to figure out what we're going to do and how we're going to get through it. And it's okay to admit when you're overwhelmed and not feeling well. but sometimes you just gotta relax and wait for the right inspiration to strike. Instead of getting too upset and doing something stupid, just relax and let the answers arise. So anyway, here comes the Arrhythmia documentary. I hope you enjoy it. And here it is.
Well, I met Martin probably in the summer of '99 or something, and then I didn't see him for quite a while until 2000. He was always playing at the Blue Dragon, and I was always playing at the Blue Dragon at open mic. So basically what happened was I asked him to come be in my cable access show when it started doing it back in July of 2000.
Open mic, yeah. When there was only like 4 people at the open mic at the Blue Dragon.
And I just came up to you and I was like, I have a TV show or something. Do you want to be on it?
Well, no, the TV show was like, you like disappeared for like a year. The year 1999. Well, you disappeared for a while, and then I saw you again, and then you had your TV show. Yeah. Really? Where was it at? At the Blue Dragon? That was like right before I went. Remember I got in the hospital there for like 3 weeks or something in August? That was because my stupid machine was malfunctioning on me. My defibrillator. Yeah. I came to Albuquerque permanently in '99. Probably June of '99. So, and then I was here like for a little while in '97 though, too. For about 6 months. Well, hadn't we known each other for a little bit, and like we talked and stuff, and then you said, well, I have this show, and I guess you just asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, hell yeah. I'm 20,000 years old. I'm 26 years old. I'm from originally from Washington, D.C.
Remember that party was that we had with Eric was there and on the trampoline?
Yeah, that was the summer of 2000. That was like September of 2000. Hey, if you guys are thirsty, all the drinks are right here.
Well, Martin habitually.
All the beautiful things to drink. We got orange, red, black, and clear.
Clear.
On the banjo and the bongo. Press the tune. Oh yeah, get down. Yeah, I'm from Virginia and stuff, so.
How'd you end up out here?
I got married to a girl and followed her out here. Well, she was already out here, and then I married her, and I said, well, if we're gonna be married, we have to live in the same place, right? So she was living out here, so. And then now we're divorced, so. It's better this way. We're still friends and stuff, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, we're really good friends and stuff, you know. She dates mostly girls now, so.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking about my money and wondering how much do I bring. Right now I'm working on the best band I've ever had. We're called the Sidewalkers. I'm called Fast Heart Mart, of course. Still. Everybody knows me as Fast Heart Mart because I have a fast heart. Sometimes. Basically called the Sidewalkers because we play a lot of street gigs and we play acoustically most of the time. Well,
my name is Peter Gallo.
The bassist. He is very interesting person. He always shows up for practice on time, which is good, and he always shows up for the shows, which is really great. And we've done a little bit of touring with him, and he's pretty good on the road too. And then the other Sidewalker is actually my girlfriend,
Robin Crawford.
And she is the drummer. And she plays a snare drum and a hi-hat and a little splash cymbal and a little tambourine. And she also sings. Both Pete and her sing. That's another difference. You missed it?
You gotta have it.
I missed one too,
So
it
you
looks
can
like.
see the...
Oh, that was you then, it wasn't me.
Cell phones are off. Practice. Okay, so yeah, now I live in a camper, and I've never considered living in a camper before I did this, but now that I did it, it's like the best idea in the world, man. Because it's like, it's totally portable, so if you get kicked out of your property, you just take your house with you, you know.
but that's it right there. I think it came from California originally. I could see a California sign on it.
Where'd you end up getting it?
Robin got it at a junkyard, I think. Yeah. It kind of looks, doesn't it kind of look like an old freezer or something? An old refrigerator or something?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. I've lived everywhere. South Valley is the best place to live, though. You can get more yard for your buck. Stamper's Camper, which Justice came up with, I think, right? Robin's son came up with the name Stamper's Camper. That's where I live. It's a little trailer, and it's very cozy. Right next to the chicken coop, which I play music in. Driving out of fuel, stuck on a highway, stranded nowhere. Rookie pizza, driving my car.
Are you getting out half a channel?
I get 2 channels. I get 2 channels on TV, and they both suck. I don't even get the public station. That sucks.
So what's in here?
This here is the hovel, the chicken coop converted into a music studio. And if you look on the ceiling, you'll get hints of vaginal ecstasy made out of, what is that stuff? Fiberglass insulation. Stuff this year. And we live, if anybody wants to rob our house, we live on 721 Brady Bunch Drive, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Please try to come break in and steal all my shit.
It's all heavily insured. We'll make twice as much.
Yeah. It's called sidewalk music. That's how I would describe it. And they ask, why is it called sidewalk music? And I say, well, because we're not loud and derivative like a lot of rock bands out there. But we're really not rock either, so that's why we don't even call it sidewalk rock. We don't have a bass drum. We don't plug into amplifiers when we don't have to. We keep things really intimate. That's why it's called sidewalk music. There's no pretense to it. You can just see it happening on the sidewalk of your local town.
It's very Russian, huh?
Russian, yes, yeah.
Yeah. I think that more musicians should experiment with public space and try to break out of the bar scene where it's really at, is performing out in the public space, on the street, on the sidewalk, because those are the places that where I think, you know, communication and performance is at its best. It's really on its edge, and is the most, you take the most risk as an artist bringing your work out onto the public venues like that. In some way, we're also influencing other artists or people in general walking down the street to have more compassion and sympathy for people who are on the street for whatever reason, because I think that that's where society is going to heal, really, is on the streets. And it's not going to be in these venues and these other institutions and other buildings. And you know, I think that real life happens out in the public areas, and that's where I'd like to be. That's why I'm glad to be a part of Fast Heart Mart and a sidewalker.
This one's about a rich guy with millions of dollars who all of a sudden decides he should give it away to all the poor people. That's pretty controversial and funny. I'm a rich man. I'm living on the hill, and I'm wondering, how much do I really need to last me until I die? Until I die. I will of my fortune to my children. It will only create lazy people who don't appreciate. Tomorrow I'll go to my bank and give all of my money to the people living in the slums. Here in town, we like playing with, well, who do we like playing with right now? We like playing with the Rakes of Mallow. We like playing with, I think we played with Foma once, and that was cool. And then we like to play with Mucha Buddha.
Of God and Science.
Of God and Science,
and
totally,
Weldon.
of God and Science. Weldon, yes, Weldon.
We like playing
I
with
haven't heard from
DV8.
Weldon. DV8, yes, we like playing with DV8 here in town.
We like playing with the Rivet Gang.
The Handsome Family.
We're dying to play with the Handsome.
Yeah, we haven't played with the Handsome Family yet. And, yeah, but we want to play with the Violent Femmes one day. Beck, that would be cool. I want to do an album with Beck one day before I die. All the kids really like need something to do out here. There's not that many all ages venues, and the ones that are coffee houses, and everybody there is sort of, I don't know, asleep. The coffee houses are great that are here. It's just that I wish they sold some beer or wine. Coffee houses are a great place to start your band, huh? Because you don't have to like bring in 300 people, you know, to prove to the bar owner that you could sell booze, you know what I mean? Yeah. The coffee house, you can just say, hey, everybody come and get a cup of coffee or whatever, and it's not such a big, I don't know, such a big chance or risk. But yeah, you get a lot of great bands starting at the coffee houses, you know. I think it's great that so many DIY kind of stuff, so much DIY stuff is happening now too, that nobody's like so reliable on the record companies, and nobody's like losing face over like, you know, competing with each other to try to get the next label signing and everything like that. It's not like about competing with each other anymore, you know, because of that, you know. You could just say, you know, we sold this many CDs and you guys sold this many CDs too, and like we're both happy, you know. Driving down a long highway into Mexico, there's reservations all around me. How is it so? The white man stole this land from the Indian, the form of democracy. Though my driver's also
I really enjoy playing music with Robin and Martin. They're totally hot and fun to be with, and I've been a performer, not really in Albuquerque very much, mostly in other areas where I grew up in upstate New York, in that area.
Let's see, I got my first band when I was 19.
I think I joined the band just this year. It might have been February or something like that.
Well, I started playing bass for Fast Heart Mart about 2 years ago. Ended up playing drums about 10 months ago.
And yeah, it's been great. I've never worked so hard at music in my life.
It's fun. I wouldn't want to play with anybody else. I've been in different bands, and people are so boring to play music with.
This is one way that I get to do kind of a lot of different performances, styles. all in one. You know, I enjoy singing and I enjoy playing the bass. I must say that Martin has been very accommodating. He's given me free lessons and allowed me to, you know, experiment with different styles, and you know, had a lot of fun too.
And and we learned by doing. He says, yeah, you know, we'll just get gigs. Even before we knew the songs, he had a gig for us. And we said, we don't know the songs yet. And he's like, well, that'll give us a goal. You know? So he just makes little goals, and we try to meet them. Look what a fan left us in our tip jar. That was nice. And but what's a challenge is lining up a tour for out of town.
Our big plan for the future is to get that bus. We're gonna get a 21 passenger bus and put 2 beds in it, so we could sleep in it in the Walmart parking lots all across the United States.
That should help. Then we don't need to worry about hotels or like finding people to stay with or anything.
Do you know that's the way Walmart, Sam Walton had it when he died? In his will, he said it was okay for anybody to sleep in an RV in the Walmart parking lots. So like people who are homeless can, like, you know, sleep in their car in the Walmart parking lot whenever they're homeless or whatever. So that's kind of a cool thing Walmart's done for us. I don't know, I'm not going to shop there still, but...
I just can't wait till we're doing this full time. I guess pretty soon we're just going to hit the streets and not worry about working anymore. And we're just going to play music full time.
We're going to be on the road 3 weeks and then off for 5 weeks. We're going to do that for a while and see how it goes. We're going to go do the East Coast and West Coast and everything in between. And we haven't done anything in Europe yet, so we're not going to... I'm not thinking about Europe yet. Next album should be out in January, February of 2005. And it's going to be called Gabachos Mariachi.
I didn't write this one, but a friend of mine wrote it, and he wants me to spread the word of his music. So.
Okay. Who's your friend?
His name is Jesus Christ. Just kidding.
Yeah. Well, one day, hopefully, my stuff will make it to the Smithsonian Folkways. But I do like to say this. Yeah, that's how important ask me and they demand. You know, people will be listening to what's going on. Wow, check this guy out. I was here like for a little while. And say Fast Heart Mart is... It'll be obscure. Well, Fast Heart Mart has it always sounds bad. Whatever you say about Clarence Ashley, nominated 3-time Grammy Award winner, blah 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 blah. And that's pretty much the whole concept behind Fast Heart Mart.
One morning, I woke and I was nothing. I was nothing at all. I was not even a bodybuilder. Or some kind of world traveler, or a karate fighter. I was nothing at all. I was nothing at all. I was nothing, oh nothing. But now I found my love. And to me, that's something.
I'm every poet, I'm every musician, I'm every day makeup, I'm everyone who living on this planet, I'm everyone who living on this. said he loved us. He looked in the eyes and then he hugged us. He said you figured it. decided to get it together. Rented this space, once known as Texas. We conglomerated there. We're having so much fun. Having so much fun. We're drinking all the punch. Drinking all the punch. We were out to lunch. This space known as Texas. I guess that's why we didn't notice. The whole planet started spinning off its axis. Away from the sun. Away from the sun. And you couldn't even see. You couldn't even see when we banged into destiny. And we banged into destiny. Banged into destiny. He looks in the eyes, he said he loved us. He looks in the eyes, and then he hugged us. He said, you figured it out. The secret of this life, the secret was not even on childhood. He said he loved us. He looks in the eyes, and then he hugged us. He said he figured it out. The secret to this life is
do Ode to the Hovel. My bass player has alternate tunes.
Check, check.
Like a queen bee was never stung. I got lazy, so I quit my job. Royal jelly was dripping from my tongue. I went to sleep, I woke up a slob. Now I live in a little bitty shack. I call it the hovel. Black widow spider slipping in the crack. My pillow is a shovel. Sleep through this. Roadrunner with the lizard in his beak. Spiral-eyed cuckoo freak runs across the desert sand. Tail feathers like a Chinese fan. Feel the breeze. That's pretty good. This one's pretty controversial. It's called White Man Stole This Land. Stole this land from the Indian form of democracy. Though my driver's son's burning at the farmer's town, certainly my skin is reflecting like glass under stone. All giant, like a ship on the road. Drivers roam, retired. Arms when I die behind the back.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I kind of did. It was also cringe-worthy at times, but I got through it, and I hope you got something out of it as well. That would be, I don't know, probably some hardcore Fast Heart Mart fans will really appreciate that, I think. Okay, well, I'll see you next week, God willing. Thanks for watching, and be peaceful out there, everybody, and healthy. See you next time. Bye.
I'm a rich man. I'm living on the hill, and I'm wondering how much do I raise?